The movie starts with John and Alice being another normal couple that wakes up together every morning. Alice is a well-intentioned wife, willing to prepare breakfast for her husband if only the fridge wasn't empty. That's why John has to get up and work hard to earn money for their living. John gets to his job and tries to sell some insurance over the phone, while his supervisor demands more productivity and better results from him. John blames his bad results on his bad economic situation, but his supervisor doesn't really care much. At the same time, Alice has a job interview. She's actually rejected since she doesn't have a lot of experience, or a master's degree like most of the other applicants. When she returns home defeated, their arrogant landlord bangs on their door and demands the rent money. That adds more pressure on the couple. Alice checks their e-banking statement, and after the rent payment, their balance shall be negative $45. Very sad indeed. Later that night, John and Alice join a reunion party in a place where most of their past schoolmates seem happy and successful. Their dress code doesn't fit in. Eventually they meet another couple, friends of theirs, and are able to exchange some words, mostly about their problems. The bright side, drinks are free and they can really party. The next morning, the couple decides to visit town and do some shopping since their fridge is still empty. While driving on the suburban roads, a truck crashes on their car on a crossroads because the stop sign is missing. Luckily, they are fine. They have to stop for a while until the police arrive and records the accident. Right next to the road there's an antique shop which is run by an old lady. Alice notices the old lady is picking up a golden teapot from the ground and she's walking inside the shop. Alice walks into the shop, attracted by the teapot. She and the old lady have a short conversation until the old lady is distracted by the phone. Alice looks around for the teapot and she finds it. She touches the teapot and is instantly hooked. She holds it close to her body and runs outside of the shop, into her husband's car. She orders him to go fast. John is surprised that his wife stole something, but Alice argues that this item is so pretty. While Alice calls someone to book a job interview, she also straightens her hair. She accidentally burns her forehead with her hair straightener, and the teapot starts trembling. The phone slips out of her hands and she approaches the teapot. She removes its cap and sees some dollars in it. She starts making the connection. She intentionally burns her forehead one more time, and the teapot trembles again. It has now produced $700. Alice tests this theory one more time by kicking a chair and hurting her foot and fingers. More money is produced in the teapot. That's great timing because John is getting fired off his job at the same time. John returns home and finds the living room nearly destroyed and his wife almost passed out. Alice reassures him she's fine. He tells her he got fired and she replies it doesn't matter. She gives him the teapot and John feels a funny vibration. Alice slaps John and then shows him the money that the teapot has produced. She explains that the teapot will pay them to hurt themselves. John has a hard time believing it, but Alice knees him hard in the groin and the teapot goes crazy, bursting money out of it. John initially realizes that this whole thing might end badly and makes a move to return the teapot back to the antique shop. However, he changes his mind last minute and is seriously hooked in the money-making item. John then takes the teapot to a cash or trash style TV show where the host values it at $5,000. No deal for John. In the meantime, an Asian middle-aged man watches the show and seems very interested in the teapot. He pinpoints John's location on the map hanging on his wall. John and Alice agree to earn $1 million out of the teapot and then stop. They make themselves go through painful experiences and stash some cash, but who says they can't enjoy themselves in the process? They indulge in some kinky spanking and sex, and the teapot really likes that. Alice and John have changed for the better, not just on the outside. Their mood has been elevated as well. That's apparent at the lunch table, where Alice's mother and her sister can't seem to understand how they are doing so good while they are just dependent on John's salesman salary. Everything seems to go well until two men dressed as rabbis intrude their house and start beating John, asking him where the teapot is. It was a thing their grandma was missing and couldn't rest herself about it until the day she died. Alice hides the teapot under a pillow and tells them they sold it already. The rabbis demand the money from the sale of the teapot. Alice proves devious enough to trick them. She quickly gets the money that the teapot has produced due to the beating John received and gives it to the rabbis. They take the money and leave. This event alarms them, and they decide to research the matter of the teapot a bit deeper. They visit a library and find just the right book about mythical magical objects. Alice sees a page depicting the sad consequences of the usage of the teapot. She doesn't want John to see it. When John is distracted, Alice tears that page off. The couple lives their dream life for a while. They buy a new car, a new fancy house in a rich neighborhood. They renew their wardrobe and they throw parties with high-profile guests. That's all until... Remember that Asian man who watched the teapot on TV? He rings their doorbell one day and introduces himself as Li Ling of the Theosophical community. He says he is interested in the ancient artifacts, especially teapots. John genuinely wants to listen to the man, but Alice just can't let go. She tells John they will lose everything if they lose the teapot. Li Ling tells them they are in great danger, but the two of them shut the door in his face. That's not the only visitor they get. Their former landlord, Arnie, pays them a visit and gets in the house uninvited. He asks them how two losers like them can end up in a nice neighborhood like that. Arnie acts all stupid. He is drunk after all. He takes the teapot out of their hands and runs outside with it. John tries to take it back, but the teapot ends up in the middle of the road. Arnie runs over the teapot with his truck, but the teapot is perfectly fine. Not even a scratch. Alice finally feels relieved, but also, it's kind of peculiar. How can the teapot endure a truck running over it without taking any damage? They visit Li Ling and ask him about it. Li says the teapot can't be destroyed. The only way to get rid of it is to hide it in a way that nobody can ever find it. He talks about the history of the teapot, stating that it's made its way into the hands of some of the best and the worst people of all time. Li warns them that even if there's a bit of evil in them, the teapot will bring it out and magnify it. The last time they had any reports on the teapot was in a Nazi camp a long time ago. For once more, Alice convinces John to not hand the teapot over. She claims they're good characters, good people, and they will never lose control of themselves, so their struggle continues. One night, the two rabbis who assaulted them some time ago break into their house again and steal their money in the middle of the night. They comment that John and Alice are amateurs because they hid their money in the toilet flush. John and Alice hear them and get out of their bedroom to confront them. The rabbis confess that they are not really after the teapot because they know what pain it can cause and how it makes you mad. They've seen it on their grandmother. So they let John and Alice take all the pain and create their fortune for them. They are just after the money. John and Alice try to stop them and a fight breaks out. John ends up unconscious and so does Alice when she is hit by the intruders. Things have gone into the downward spiral. The teapot now pays less money than it used to. And frankly, Alice and John have taken enough damage till now. They have hurt themselves a lot, so they decide to get some help. They visit a biker's bar and ask who the meanest person in there is. The barman points John to the right guy, and John starts a fight with him while carrying a bag with the teapot in it. Of course, hoping for the best return and profit. John is hurt and Lee approaches him again. He tells him that the teapot is consuming him and his wife. At the same time, Alice observes that the teapot can produce money when other people are hurt as well. A skater trips near Alice and the teapot makes money. Alice shares this knowledge with John and they start attending painful events to assist the teapot in producing money, such as MMA fights and births. The teapot has indeed started consuming Alice's soul. While she's driving in the car with John sitting next to her, Alice mentions that this world is full of pain. A homeless man is crossing the road while Alice is deeply absorbed in her own little world. She accelerates with the intention of running over the poor man. John steers the wheel the last minute and saves the man, preventing his own wife from committing murder. They verbally fight with each other. Alice blames him that he can't cooperate and he can't understand her vision. Another little discovery for Alice. The teapot has produced money out of the emotional pain this time. She tests her new theory on John by insulting him real good. She's right. The teapot produces money out of emotional hurt as well. Alice demands from John to emotionally hurt her. John is reluctant at first, but then obeys Alice's demand and describes a past event when he kissed another woman and how he still thinks about that kiss sometimes when he kisses Alice. Jackpot. They make that a regular thing, insulting each other and sharing dark secrets of their past to make each other feel awful so that the teapot can produce money. In the end, Alice concludes that she's never been so honest with another person in her whole life. They stop doing that to each other and they start making other people feel bad by exposing their secrets to loved ones. They manage to pull a good amount of money. Alice would go as far as exposing her own sister's dirty secret that her first child was conceived with another man and not her current husband. They put the plan into action, but Alice regrets it and doesn't expose her sister. When they go back home, John tells her that she did well. She is a good person, but Alice says that her remorse will delay their progress. She suggests they pull one large final stunt to reach $1 million and then stop. John argues they already have enough money, but Alice won't hear any of that. She says there are pedophiles and drug dealers in the playgrounds. If they kill one such person, they will do the society a favor, and in addition, they will get paid well. John doesn't agree to that plan, but can't say no to his wife. They go as far as digging a grave, but John is now determined to stop. He says he can't go on with this. He asks Alice who she would choose between himself and the teapot. Alice gives no answer. John leaves disappointed. John visits Lee and asks for his help. Lee says it's already too late. John tells him to just steal the teapot, but Lee says it doesn't work that way. They have to be willing to hand him the teapot. That night, when Alice finishes her bath and walks to the bedroom, she finds John sitting on the edge of the second-floor window. He pleads her to give the teapot back after he's gone. Alice pleads him not to jump, but John jumps. Alice is worried about her husband, and she learns a tough lesson. John comes to his sense and wakes up. He asks Alice if she's now willing to give the teapot to Lee. She says she's ready, but there's one more problem. The same night, Alice and John go to sleep. They hear a noise from downstairs and John goes to check on it. This time, someone has stolen the teapot. That someone is Arnie, who suspects the teapot's mysterious abilities. Indeed, Arnie has hurt himself, and so does his girlfriend, because they discovered how the teapot actually works. John and Alice go to his place to take it back, because they are the ones who have to give the teapot to Lee. A fight breaks between the four of them. The two rabbis are thrown into the mix, because they had been lured in by the teapot. Alice recalls they had touched the teapot when they intruded their house, and stole their money. Luckily for John and Alice, and with the help of pistols and rifles, all the others eliminated themselves. Now John and Alice are free to take the teapot and give it back to Lee. So they do. Lee praises them. Kings and queens in the past haven't been able to get rid of the teapot's influence, but those two managed to do it. They are truly magnificent characters. Subscribe to see more videos like this. Turn on the notifications and leave a like to help the channel grow. Thanks for watching.